everybody. We are at the Annie Creek Snow Park, which is in the Crater Lake National Forest, and it's right outside of the park, the south entrance. A snow park is somewhere that you can park during the summer months for free, but in the winter you have to get a permit, which costs money, and people park here because they come to do snowboarding or snowmobiling and other cold weather outdoor things. And yeah, so they come and park here. I think you can actually snowboard right there. It's kind of like a, maybe call a bowl, which is kind of cool. And it's called Annie Creek because Annie Creek is right down here. Can't hear it right now, but when it's really quiet here, you can hear it. Yeah, so gonna spend today inside the park, and I don't know what else. Maybe that's it. So we stopped at a pull-off on the side of the road into the park, and this is Annie Creek Canyon. Well, it's Annie Creek, and Annie Creek has carved a canyon, but you can't see Annie Creek. She's carved one deep canyon. I walked up to further up the canyon. Still can't see the creek though. It's way down there. So what I read is that this was originally gouged out, I think, by a glacier. And then when the volcano erupted, it filled this with lava and then ash. And then the creek formed or started, and then now the creek is carving out this V-shaped deep canyon out of the lava rock. So all the rock you can see on the side that's all volcanic stuff. Volcanic rock. It's pretty though. It's unusual looking. And we have another beautiful day at Crater Lake. Beautiful blue sky. Our first peak of Crater Lake. Look how blue it is. I have to say, this sort of took my breath away.
Who are you talking to, Jim?
Shh. I'm talking to YouTube, Becky.
Me too.
Winds blow strongly from the west. Flag trees. So the winter storms from the Pacific Ocean drop 44 feet of snow average a year in this area. It's a lot of snow. 8 months out of the year, too. Can you imagine? 44 feet of snow 8 months out of the year. Crater Lake is considered to be the cleanest large body of water in the world. It's also the second deepest in North America, and it's the first deepest in the United States. If you consider the average depth of the water, it's actually the second deepest lake in the world, next to that super insanely deep lake somewhere in Siberia. Because this one, I think the deepest is 1,900 feet maybe, but it averages something like 1,100 feet deep. So it's insanely deep. Like, the entire thing is incredibly deep. And that's why, and also because of how clean it is, that is why that water is that color. This is Wizard Island. It's about 760 feet above the lake's surface. It's a miniature volcano, which is also known as a cinder cone. It formed about 2 centuries after Mount Mazama erupted. So it's almost like it's an optical illusion because the water, when it's this still, just looks like the sky. It's like playing tricks on my mind. This road goes all the way around the rim of the crater, and the entire way you get views like this. And it's a little hard to be able to look and appreciate when you're driving. So the cool thing is they have a trolley that runs the entire rim of the lake. It takes 2 hours to get around, and they stop at a minimum of 5 different scenic outlooks, so you can really soak it in. But that's a cool way to see Crater Lake. There's the trolley. Look at all the people who got off the trolley. So that's a boat out there, and I'm not sure why it's out there, because they do boat tours of the lake, but they end in August. And the only way to get boats into this lake is being airlifted in by helicopters. We're about to hike the Pacific Crest Trail. 1.8 miles of it anyway. The Pacific Crest Trail comes right through the Crater Lake National Park. So we're going all the way up there. You see that little building? It's 420 feet up. A gain in elevation of 420 feet.
That's so high, Jimmy.
So we rested here on the trail because it's pretty steep. But there, far in the distance, you can see Lake Klamath. And then down here, of course, it's Crater Lake, but quite a nice view. And 2 fairly comfortable rocks to rest on. And now I have to catch up with Becky. She's up there. She's left me in the dust. So there's Wizard Island down here, and way down there you can see their little harbor. You can take a boat over there if you have the boat brought in by a helicopter, and then you can hike to the top. So look, we're almost there. It's right there. That was not a long hike, but it became quite steep. And I hope my little muffs are going to help because it's extremely windy. Wow. There's my van. Look at that, those tiny little vans down there. Crater Lake National Park, like absolutely nothing else I've ever seen in my life, and it knocked my socks off, blew me away. I was in awe. It was probably one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen, and maybe the most gorgeous, definitely the most gorgeous water I've ever seen in my life. And it's saying a lot. I've seen a lot of water. But I wanted to thank you all for coming along with me to the national park, and I'll see you all down the road.